Right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Oh, bit cold here, isn't it?
Cold? What are you talking about?
Well, you wanted a cold opening?
God's sake, Steve.
Hello guys, and welcome to the best of 2019.
That's going to be a bit hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because this year has been so freaking good. It's been so difficult to decide what our best cons and everything is. So what we're going to do this year is basically the exact same as last year. We're going to have our top 3 cons, as well as our best individual and our best group moment, as well as best surprise. So we're going to start with Jordan and his third favourite con of the year. Jordan,
Yes.
third favourite con of the year and why?
That's something to feel under pressure now.
And make sure you give it a good slam.
I would say my third con of the year is MCM London.
Whoa!
It were a fantastic con. It was really good. Like, great experience, great atmosphere. Obviously we got to meet Team Ruby, which is always, well, never, very rare, we're going to do it again.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And
It's like a once thing.
There were tons of memories and moments, but it just, there are other cons that I think are just slightly, it's very close, it's not obviously, there's no clear winner.
Yeah.
But I think there's just a couple of other cons that slightly push over it.
So my third favourite con of the year was YCC. Like both days of it as well, because YCC was just so good. If you ask me, it was almost the floodgate of all the goodness this year.
Yeah.
And it was just so fun, and like the atmosphere was fantastic. We obviously did our Ruby panel,
Yeah.
which was so much better than anticipated. Like so many people turned up to it.
Yeah.
But I digress. The con itself was just fantastic. Amazing atmosphere, amazing people. Thank you if you turned up to the Ruby panel.
Yes.
It was absolutely amazing.
We need more next year though.
Okay,
Steve.
so my number 3 of the year is also YCC.
Oh, dang!
Well, like you said, it's because we got to do a Ruby panel, we then did a Ruby meet straight after, and just the whole weekend itself was a very different experience to what we'd ever had, even though it was the same place by the same people.
Yeah.
It was such a different experience.
It was like a different angle, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like looking at the convention from a whole new perspective.
It really was. I don't know how we lived without changing rooms before.
Oh yeah, oh my god, they were the best things ever. I forgot about that.
Just to think, we've been to the toilet in the same place as famous rap people.
Famous people.
Yeah, well, like, there's
Famous
loads of
hockey
stuff.
players, famous, like...
Jack Whitehall,
Yeah, you never know.
John Cena, even though I'd never see him.
So we'll go back down the line now, but we're going to start with Steve.
Oh damn it.
No! Second favourite con of the year, please.
So my second favourite con of the year was MCM London.
Whoa!
So obviously we got to meet Team Ruby.
Yeah, that was
obviously the peak of MCM London.
Yeah.
The reason it didn't get the top spot was because the fact it wasn't better than every other con, it was just bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the stores and all the people there were very nice, and especially it was great fun at the Ruby meet that we went to.
So fun.
But yeah, it was a really enjoyable experience that in the future I'll probably do again, but not obviously straight away because it wasn't good enough to do straight away for the distance and cost of it. But it was definitely good enough to get my number 2 spot.
My number 2 is also MCM London.
Are we going to have the same list?
I probably. Pretty much for the exact same reason you just said. It wasn't necessarily better, it was just bigger. And like, I gotta be real, the Saturday there were times where you just felt so cramped. Like, you almost couldn't move, it was rather insane. But despite that, like you said, we met Team Ruby, which is like a highlight of life, let alone pretty much anything else. And it was just so fantastic, and we saw so many people, and everyone seemed to be in such a good mood, and everyone was so just great. And it was honestly one of the best Ruby meets we've been to.
Oh yeah.
Like it was so good. No offense, Team Temtem, because it wasn't one of yours.
But most of the people were there.
Yeah, but there were. So
Yeah. So
still, fantastic con, really good. Very much for the exact same reasons as you, Steve. So that's why it made my number 2. And Jordan, last but no means least.
mine's the irony because it's we're going to have the same 3, but mine's just in a different order. 'Cause my second con is YCC.
God's sake.
Again, as we've said with the Ruby panel and everything, the reason it just beats London that little bit is again what you said. London was just bigger, which was really good. But to me, the atmosphere of YCC just edges that a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was one of the best, like, obviously it's not on the scale of, say, like, the big MCM London.
Yeah.
Oh, of course not.
But for what it was fantastic. Like, it was really good. Despite its number 2. There is one slightly better, but it was, it's my number 2.
Yeah.
It's number 2, so I hope there's one slightly better. Yeah. Alright, and finally we come on to honourable mentions and number 1.
Oh, we're doing honourable mentions, whoops.
Top of your head, favourite cons before you get to your actual number 1.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Oh, do I have to go first?
Yeah, because I like being awkward.
Honourable mention goes to the March MCM Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say that.
Especially like data. It will go to a nice start to the year. We did the Bumblebee Diaries, that were obviously really good.
Yeah.
And it was just overall, it was a good weekend.
Do your number 1.
My number 1, which I assume is going to be all our number 1s, has to be MCM Manchester.
Why, Jordan? Why, Jordan?
Why?
Why is it your number 1?
Because with MCM Manchester,
I'm changing my list. Go ahead, go ahead.
to me it was being virtually faultless.
Yeah.
Like, it weren't too crowded, it weren't too thingy. We met some of the lower team in Ruby.
Yeah.
They were fantastic. Like, there was no downsides. Like, the atmosphere were great. The Ruby meet were fantastic.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was all fantastic. We did police officers that were really fun.
So much so we have done it twice now, so yeah.
And we expect some great people there as well.
We did.
Yeah. So I have to give it to Manchester as my number 1.
Awesome. But my number 1 con of the year, and I mean both days, because both days are equally as freaking fantastic, is MCM Manchester. Like you said, Jordan, the con itself was just amazing.
Yeah.
There was barely anything about the con that was a negative in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
It was just so good from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to the very end. It was fantastic. Even outside of Manchester itself, like us 3 and Amy as well, had just so much just random but hilarious banter.
Yeah.
Like, we played Ace Attorney until gone midnight. Like, we just sat and played it, and it was... We'd all did voices of different characters. It was freaking hilarious. Like, it was so funny, and it was just amazing. We played card game. We did so much. And it was just so much fun. Just all of it was just absolutely fantastic. I cannot give any of it a fault at all.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It was so much fun. I absolutely freaking loved it. And that's why it's my number 1 con of the year. And finally we go on to Steve.
God damn it, you guys said everything. I might as well just leave. Number 1 con, which is probably no surprise to either of you, is MCM Manchester.
Whoa. Whoa, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Everything you've already said is already what I was going to say. I can't think of anything on top of what you two have already said.
Yeah.
The fact that it's all 3 of our favourite cons.
Yeah.
Speaks for itself.
Yeah, like...
I think my highlight of the entire con though was the Ruby takeover on the Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was the peak highlight of the con. That can be checked out on YouTube.
What, we don't do plugging it. No,
Of course we do.
Link in the description. So that's our top 3 cons. I genuinely cannot believe they are all exactly the same, but in a very slightly different order on your half, John.
It shows the calibre of the cons we have.
Yeah, but almost every con this year has been amazing in a fashion. So we'll go on to best individual moment now.
Yeah.
So this is a moment throughout the year, just the one. You can give a few honourable mentions if you wish.
Yeah.
But this is a moment throughout the year that has been the most significant to you. So we will start with Steve.
Okay. So my individual moment is something that to this day, every time I rewatch it, it makes me giggle inside. Because it is on footage.
Scared.
And that was at Manchester asking Ozpin, Pyrrha, and Nora about simulation theory.
Oh, yes.
Because their confusion on their faces is the gold dust. I just love that so much because
I was there and there was so...
Yeah, like, I'm gonna be real, we weren't near you, but then I just remember you had your hand up, I came near him and I just went... Because Amy sat next to me and she's like, what? And I'm like, I know what he's going to answer.
That's going to be something.
Yeah, and then he goes, what do you think about Ren? Oh. But it was amazing. It was out, yeah. Jordan, you sound like being awkward.
This is, the individual one especially has been very hard, very awkward to do. Because there's plenty I could do, basically meeting virtually everyone we've met.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Like, they all themselves just. There is something from each of them. But the best one has to go to meeting Lindsay Jones.
Alright.
And that, it may sound a little bit basic. When we planned London, in the back of my mind, especially when they announced all of them, I thought, oh, it's going to be crowded, it's going to be busy, and it's going to be all this like time and money and effort, and they're not going to be that nice people. They're just going to be sign, go.
Yeah. We have had that before, or maybe at least one of us is.
Yeah. But the fact that, and especially all of them were, but especially Lindsay.
Oh yeah.
She stood there, shook my hand, and had a good at least 5 or 10 minute conversation.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Lindsay was very friendly.
It's the first one who I've kind of met and gone, not been, it's weird, like not as backwards starstruck.
Yeah.
Like I ain't gone up and thought, oh, my entire thing's you ruined. If anything, it's made me think more of like Ruby.
Yeah.
Like,
she didn't talk to you like you was someone that had come to meet her.
Yeah.
She talked to you like you was just somebody you met in the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the best part about
She
her.
was grateful, she weren't thinking.
Yeah.
That's just, to me, that moment, you just can't beat it.
Right, and finally my number one favourite moment, individual moment. There have been so many just moments overall, I just want to point out. But like, this one might seem a little bit odd because it is quite literally in the space of a moment. Well, not that small, but you know.
This way I get scared and have to call us lawyers.
No, Jordan, shut up. But it is like quite honestly, it was something that happened so quickly and I didn't expect it, and this is why it's the best. So, we haven't actually uploaded London for whatever reason. I can't actually remember why. I think some of the footage got a bit messed up. But anyway.
Yeah.
Basically, I had a photo with Barbara.
Yeah.
But that is not my favourite moment. My favourite moment is just before I had the photo with her.
Alright.
She turned around and looked at me and went, you again. And I was just like, I was like, right, basically, my favourite moment is the fact that she recognised me.
Yeah.
Because there were so many people in this queue. There's so many people who even I looked at and went, oh yeah, you were in the queue this morning. Like, some people are even cosplaying Yang, and I'm just like, yeah, there's so many people. There's no way. But then she looked at me and was like, hey up you, how are you doing? And I was just like, oh my god, she recognises me. And I was just like, huh.
Right, we're calling us lawyers.
They got, shut up! We only planned the kidnapping, we didn't go through it. Alright, so now it's group moment. This is basically a moment which it constitutes more than one person. Well, yourself and other people as well. Mostly plus 3. So we will start with me. So my favourite group moment of the year is the opposite of my individual moment, because it's a moment that happened over a very long period of time. Half an hour to be precise. Because it's the Ruby panel.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the Ruby panel and the Ruby meet. Because the simple fact that we got to do that was insane. And was, even to this day, I'm so thankful for doing it. And thank you so much, Kitty at YCC, you're amazing. Thank you so much for letting us do it, and everything else we've done it as well. But, it was so good, and the turnout was surprisingly good.
Oh yeah, better than I anticipated.
Exactly, we were like, we might get half the room if we're lucky. Pretty much every seat was taken. There was such a big audience.
People standing.
There was, by the end, there was people standing.
Yeah, it was incredible. So we had a good, in fact, I think we were probably the biggest or maybe like second biggest panel in the entire weekend, and it was just absolutely fantastic to do it with the two of you as well. So like you guys obviously made it so much better, and I thank you so much for that.
It's okay.
And hopefully we're going to do it next year.
Only on weekends.
Alright, speaking of weekend, John, what's your favourite group moment?
Well, it's usual to say all the crap. Every moment's a good moment with you two, and we all have good.
Boo! Get off!
I'm trying to open my hat. I have to say, and it's the entire experience at Manchester of meeting all the VAs, but all of us together at the same time.
Hey fans, what do you guys want to say?
Because we all, in a way, at Manchester, we all basically met in a group together, didn't we?
Yeah, pretty much. Like we kind of did.
And like, all of it, as you said earlier, with the accents. The accents.
Yes, like that was funny.
Like arresting thingy. I know that we're on the second day.
McCormick, yeah.
Getting shipped by Samantha Island.
I forgot about that!
That moment, that, like, as you say, that half an hour or that 20 minutes we basically did were one of the fantastic moments of the year, I thought.
Yeah.
Despite that, there are still so many good group moments.
Oh,
yeah.
Things that we've all done, like, and even individual moments. Like, there's just so many.
Oh, yeah.
It was so... We were sat for, what, an hour, 2 hours almost, trying to decide what all of these even are.
This year, there's been too many.
It was incredibly surprising how many things we've had to work
It's
out.
the transition, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the most brilliant segue in the entire world.
Except it doesn't work because you haven't done mine yet.
I know.
There's some NC for you!
That's staying in there.
Now I wondered why you were doing that. That's why I questioned it.
So finally, Steve, what's your favourite group moment?
Surprisingly, well, probably not unsurprisingly, it's the same as yours. It's the It's YCC Ruby Meat.
Yeah.
Not Ruby Meat, Ruby Panel. Ruby Panel.
Both, yeah.
Both. Because it was just such a... It's quite an odd experience, I think.
Alright, why is that?
Compared to... I enjoyed it a lot, but it was weird because I've not really been a host for anything like that in the past, so it was kind of weird being on the other side of the situation. Instead of being the one experiencing it, you're the one giving the experience to the other people, which... I don't know how to describe it for if nobody's ever had that experience. It's a hard one to describe to people.
You feel pressured even though there's no pressure.
Yes, exactly.
To explain everything.
Yeah, like you're responsible for making this good.
Yes.
Or bad or whatever. Yeah, it's weird. And you got to tomahawk sweets at people younger than you.
Right, that's been cut.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you hit at least 3 people you're supposed to hit with sweets. I know
hypothetically hit 3 people.
I know you threw one of them and Amy was sat like that and it landed.
Oh, that was the best.
Yeah, I was just there like, thanks Amy.
I wasn't aiming for Amy though.
That's the best part. But finally, very much finally, this is new for this year actually, which is a great idea from Steve. There has been so many just random but awesome moments this year that don't necessarily constitute as moments. So we're going to do our best surprise of the year, the thing that shocked us the most. So we will start with Steve, considering it was your idea.
Oh no! But my surprising moment is something that happened more than once.
Alright, okay.
And that's that I've actually won 2 cosplay competitions this year. That was my biggest surprise.
That's getting cut. So why is that surprising for you?
Well,
That's a bit obvious.
Yeah, because... Well, it was a surprise because I thought at the time they were better cosplayers and cosplays than I currently was in at the time, not expecting to win just to have a bit of fun like I normally do.
Well, yeah, that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah, not expecting anything to become of it.
You always find that with cosplay competitions though, don't you?
You normally do, yeah. I'm not going to lie, and I mean this in a nice way, obviously, I was a bit surprised at... Which one was it now?
It was a Cleethorpes con, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, this one won sheerly because of, like, creativity or something, like you've never seen anything like
I can't remember.
and and it's green pool, and I think
No, they said Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds, that's it, yeah. And I think in footage I like zoom in on my face because it looks like I'm really disappointed. But I'm not, I'm just there just like... But I look really angry. And I didn't think about that when I did it, and then I uploaded it and I'm like, I look really pissed off. Like, I probably shouldn't have done that.
I've been exposed now.
Yeah. Good surprise of the year, Steve. What's my surprise? I've remembered. Because it's my other technically individual moment, but I had to have something as a surprise, so... You know. So, like, it stems... It's yet again going to MCM London. Basically, when we met all of Team Ruby, in a way, meeting how nice they all were, and again, I mean this in the nicest possible way, of course.
Yeah.
Even Michael, like, I was so shocked how just open they were and how happy they were to basically stand there and just talk to you.
Yeah, like...
That was obviously incredibly surprising, but that is my honourable mention, not my actual surprise, because my actual surprise was basically one of the only occasions where someone outside of you two has ever complimented one of my cosplays. And it just happened to be the person who voices the character I was cosplaying.
Oh.
Because it was when we met Barbara, and I got her to sign my Emma Salicas, and she said, "Did you make these?" And I said, "Yeah, I put in a lot of time, money, blood, sweat, tears, and I mean that quite literally." And she went, "Oh, well, that's how you know you've made an amazing cosplay." And I nearly cried. And I sort of walked up, after I walked away, I just sort of was like, oh my god, she just complimented my cosplay. Like, again, quite self-indulging, but like it was just so surprising. Like, I don't think there's much better to have the person...
Yeah.
You know, who your cosplay... Basically, Yang say, your Yang cosplay is great. Like, you don't get that every day, so it's just... You
did get complimented one more time on your Yang, though, and that was at Manchester, but not by a VA, but the guy, like the woman that stood next to the VAs.
Oh, yeah. I actually forgot about that. Jordan!
Yay!
What's your surprise of the year?
Well, yours has both have been moments, and mine's not, which is weird, because mine's actually cons.
Well, all of them.
No, not all of them. It's more the other YCC cons, apart from YCC.
Minicon.
Oh, like Minicon, Anime Yorkshire, the ball, and even last week, the Christmas Mark.
Oh yeah, it's been 4, hasn't it?
And I'm not saying I went not really expecting a lot from these cons.
Yeah.
Because they were little, like, especially like when you walked in and you realised how small it was.
Oh yeah.
Like Minicon were in like the basement
it literally
of
was.
the dome. But if we'd have furthered the list down, a lot more of those cons would have been slotted in there.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
And that's, to me, what was surprising. Because you go up to these cons, again, it may seem mean, like, not expecting a lot. But they've turned out to be some of the better cons we've been to this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they weren't just a basic con.
Yeah, they weren't basic. And alright, they might not have the guests of the other cons. But the atmosphere, it's better than... We went to a con in Birmingham, didn't we? I won't name it for reasons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because the atmosphere was... And that was one of the bigger cons.
Yeah.
It had nothing on YCC in that.
Yeah.
And to me, that just shows you how they make it work, and that's what surprised me the most.
So, before we go, we're going to do some honourable mentions for this year.
Thank you so much for watching this year, guys. drop a like,
leave a comment,
subscribe's always appreciated.
and don't forget to hit the notification bell to hear about the latest videos.
And Merry Christmas.